I think I finally have the location in place and I am ready to talk to you. So it has been difficult to continue to post on YouTube and social media with the inner turmoil that has continuously been haunting me. But then I came to a realization that it really was when I was pursuing the difficult pushing forward with weekly updates was when I was improving. So to stop doing that, it doesn't really help. I didn't come up with any solution during these past few weeks. And so I've decided I'm just gonna do what's easy for me and just gradually improve. And I think that is the way to go. Whether you are a creator for YouTube or other mediums like art, crafts, whatever field you are in trying to improve yourself in, it happens when you are in the action of doing it. And so for me, trying to be consistent on YouTube, and I've been trying to be successful, I think that was my trap. So forget about being successful, just do it for the fun of it and just do what I can do, and that is vlogging for now. So I'm just going to share some tips with you that I've learned along the way, which is in terms of finding a routine and a system that works for you. So at least I was continuously shooting videos. I have just not been editing and posting them because the problem with me, my pit hole, was that I always was thinking that I need a strategy before I start jumping into doing these. But the fact is that I have been starting with vlogs. And so by just continuously shooting my everyday life, I already have the footage available. When it comes to creating a strategy, I think that's something that we continuously have to do. And I've been continuously trying to find what my message is, what my strategy is, what my niche is. And I'm still in the journey process. One realization I did come up with was that I find my struggles come from me being at an age where I need to realize, I need to grasp and start making changes to my lifestyle. I'm not like in my 20s or 30s or 40s anymore, where I would put my career at the forefront of my priorities. That's not something I want to be pursuing. I want to be, and it's interesting because I see a lot of young people wanting this at the same time these days. It's a trend. We even have a word for it in Korea. It's called faya, which means fire. It's to burn your life forward really quickly. So get married quickly, have kids quickly, grow out of them quickly and retire quickly, and then enjoy the rest of your life, which is odd because with the fact that the society is aging, I'm at the forefront of that limitation, like in terms of age. I'm in my 50s now, moving slowly towards my mid 50s, which is crazy every time I think about it. But it puts me in a situation where I need to start thinking about retirement, and I want to make it so that I live the life that I want to be living and not just jumping off of the career path that I've been following up until now. YouTubers out there who are talking about this area, this gray area that I call gray because, I know I don't look like I'm in my 50s to some people, and I definitely don't feel like it, but for a matter of fact, I am going through physical changes with my body, with my hair, with my skin, and my metabolism and everything that keeps telling me, it's kind of like haunting you when you're at that age, that you have to slow down, you have to take things in a different perspective and in a different pace. And there's a lot of pros to this as well. Financial wise, I have a better understanding of how to accumulate and invest. And also I have a better understanding of how my body reacts when I feed it in certain ways or when I don't in other ways. In a nutshell, the diet you did in your 20s will not work in your 50s. Exercising is not going to be the same. So all of this changes except for the fact that we all still want to have a very disciplined and routineful lifestyle. Yeah, I think that's kind of like where I'm coming from. And I have like visions of the future, which I know is probably going to come in the coming 10 years. So within 10 years from now, before 2035, I will probably have moved to more of the countryside here in Jeju Island and be living in the house that we designed with maybe a little bit of a small garden, some horses in our backyard. And so when I think of that, there are some things that I want to start preparing. Like I want to be able to cook a little bit better for the family. I also want to, so I want to understand better the culture, the food culture. And I'm probably also going to be doing some more like planting and seeding and gardening our own vegetables. Having trouble like pushing myself off of this track and going onto that track, because I know for at least a couple more years I will continue to be doing the things that I'm doing, which is broadcasting, teaching English, and doing a lot of research, linguistic research. So having that said, how do you transition from this current educational, academic, fast-paced, broadcast-related communications work to dropping all of this and creating a future that you will really thrive is very far from each other. In my point of view, it is. So, but I cannot get myself to just start learning things that I need to do for the future. So it's very hard to be moving towards the future. Pre-retirement entry, I don't know. I need to put a word to this. You don't have to be in your 50s to be experiencing what I'm going through. I've been working in the corporate, and now I'm an entrepreneur, like a baby entrepreneur, like very, 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 very like in the baby stages of startups, and trying to build that brand where I have some kind of profitable cycle going around. I haven't gotten there yet, so I'm still striving in this area. Moving to a more entrepreneurial stage in my life, which is something I want to make in a way that can be sustainable and not rely like 100% on my actions. So how do I make that become a passive income for me? That's kind of like my homework for now. A lifestyle that is more nurtured with nature, surrounded by nature, closer to Jeju Island, but yet still maintaining that income. I actually had a Zoom call with Lori Wing, and she was so nice to offer some help for people like me who are struggling with their own brands and are, having difficulties, because it's really hard when you don't have much people to really connect to in your area that understand the difficulties that you're going through as a YouTuber and someone who wants to be successful on YouTube. We had a call. It was wonderful, and she told me that this stage that I am in sometimes can be called a luminous stage. I think that's what she said. I need to do some research, but there are stages in our lives where we're kind of in a gray area and need to have a big transition. It's, for example, it would be like when you have kids for the first time and your life changes. You feel like your life is a little out of control because it's a new era that you're staging into. I think we all went through it when COVID hit. That could be another luminous stage. But in your life cycle, there are areas when we go through this transition. So we want a sustainable income that helps us to continue to enjoy life without having to work as hard as we've been doing as we were in our younger ages of life. Not easy, but I'm trying to look into my own talents and what I have, what I can offer. And another thing is I find very difficult is it's easy to just, whereas I know that if I were to give some kind of advice or share some inspiration that is focused on the audience and not on myself, I think I would be able to be seen as a person who can offer some things for you. And that seems to be the way I should be going, but I'm still here and not there. These two gray areas. I am in this phase of my life where I have these two big question marks. Like, how do you get from focusing on me to offering some kind of talent or support for you? And the next one is, how can I prepare right now and start doing things that will take me into the future where I know will be more stable and will be the place that I'll be spending the rest of my life. But it could be that I'm focusing too much on the future. And so trying to find that right now just seems impossible. And so I just decided I just need to document this journey, the journey that I'm going through right now. And I think by talking about my challenges and how I overcome them, that might be my basis to some sort of content that will be helpful for people that are going through the same stage as me, if that makes any sense. But anyhow, I hope this was not too confusing, and I hope you were able to find some use in it. And I hope we can continue to connect. And I hope my language is not an issue. I'm really hoping that AI will, I'm kind of against so many people using AI. But if there's one thing that I'm really relying on AI is to have it so sophisticated that no matter what language I spit out on YouTube, it's not going to be a problem because everybody in the world can understand it just in their own language. So that's where I'm looking forward to AI's help. So this video is going out in English, and I think the thing we need to be careful is when you're spitting out two languages at the same time and speaking bilingually, that's when it gets tricky. Because I've tried that, and I noticed that I can't get the captions to automate translations with YouTube. But when I'm speaking in one language, whether it be English, and then I have another video going out in Korean, YouTube seems to be able to automatically add captions. But again, that's a whole new era that I'm still learning, which is not easy. It's not easy, guys. The more you know, it's not easy, but don't let that stop us, right? So let's continue. Let's continue to strive, and let's continue this journey together. And yeah, we're growing together. We are actually living our lives together, and we are connecting through YouTube. And I think it's awesome because I know that the message that I send out in the world through my YouTube will touch people who want to hear what I'm trying to say. And it's the same for you too. When you send out a message, it will bring the people who need to hear it to your site.